grind hard to get ahead. You trying to go backwards.
Feelings from the past, pray the Lord block it all out.
What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy. Can't you tell them to do shit? Hey man, say man, we are lit, eh? Lit them up for 10 man. Turn. Today? The motherfucking day? Hey man, say man, straight hood outside shit, man. We about to watch 7 rappers that completely disappeared. Hey man, say man, some rappers did not die, man. Some rappers just fall off. You know what I'm saying? Some rappers, it's not even that they fall off, bruh. It's like they just stop creating music and shit, bruh. Like, you don't fall off if you keep on creating shit, because you always growing. But these niggas, they just stop making music. And we finna get it, let's turn up.
7 rappers that completely disappeared. We've all seen the videos about rappers that fell off. They have a hit song, and then their career is on a downtrend until they eventually end up doing some sort of reality show, become a Twitch streamer, or even a kingpin. But what about the ones who didn't have the typical drawn-out career slump that most rappers who fall off end up having, but instead completely fell off the face of the earth? Like, they basically ghosted rap music as a whole, and everyone forgot about them as a result. What happens to those rappers? Well, we're gonna try and get to the bottom of that in this video. We're gonna discuss the rappers who, while they did fall off, they also completely disappeared and haven't been heard from or brought up in the longest.
That's crazy,
Before we start this video though, make sure you click the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Now here's 7 rappers that completely disappeared. Number 7, BlocBoy JB. At one time it seemed like BlocBoy JB was on track to have a pretty long and successful rap career. He had co-signs from both Drake and Yo Gotti, a huge hit record, and a record deal with Interscope. He even had Shoot, his own popular dance to go along with the hit record. The dance which would later be added to Fortnite under the name Hype, with no credit given. He ended up suing Epic Games for stealing his dance, but that doesn't really have much to do with why we stopped hearing from the Memphis rapper so abruptly. Following the success of his song Look Alive, which featured Drake, he dropped a mixtape called Simmy, which sold around 11,000 copies in its first week. What was interesting is that Look Alive came out in February of 2018, his mixtape came out in May, and it wasn't until August that he ended up signing a record deal with Interscope. It seems like the little mistake that probably made him lose so much hype in so little time is the fact that he had a huge single, but no record label behind him. Thus, he had no extra promotion. By the time Look Alive had came and went, people weren't mentioning BlocBoy JB anymore. So maybe this is an example of when signing a record label could have been a good idea. Number 6, Famous Dex. Famous Dex's career arc was a little different than someone like BlocBoy JB because it wasn't a meteoric rise to fame. Dex actually gradually got famous over a period of a couple years between 2015 and 2016, slowly building buzz until he was one of the hottest rappers in 2017. His career arguably peaked when he dropped Pick It Up, featuring A$AP Rocky, which reached number 54 on the Billboard Hot 100 and ended up going platinum. Dex had a lot of controversies throughout his career and was even blacklisted from the XXL freshman list. But what really made his buzz die down was his substance abuse issues, and as a result of that, his music quality going down. It didn't help that his music was the type of music that you get tired of pretty quickly. Like, you can only hear so many songs with his whoa ad-lib until you have to play someone else. That plus issues with your label, having domestic violence charges, being in and out of rehab, all while your music quality is on the decline, makes it pretty easy for people to forget about you and move on to the next new rapper. Number 5, Pop Hunna. Pop Hunna was one of the first rappers to become famous on TikTok, with his first taste of success being Single, a post-breakup song he released in 2019. But the song most people know him for is, of course, Corvette, which became the biggest song on TikTok in 2021, and even had Lil Uzi Vert hopping on the remix. But it seems like before he could even enjoy his newly found success, his career took a huge hit when it was revealed that he was a snitch. An unknown individual released paperwork from when a 14-year-old Pop Hunna was interrogated about a murder that he witnessed, giving the police information on who he suspected was responsible for the crime. Lil Uzi told Pop to take him off his song, and that he couldn't respect the fact that he had cooperated
son,
with
them
police
niggas
in the
snitches.
past,
I
despite
call
the
that
fact that
boys.
it happened when he was only 14 years old. Ever since then, we haven't heard anything about Pop Hunter's
And white dude
music,
with little
and he's
thing.
posted some messages on social media that had fans concerned about his mental health. I can't blame him for being depressed about the situation. Imagine being on the brink of success and watching it get taken from you, all because you snitched when you were 14. That would be hard to come to terms with. I don't think all hope is lost for
At
Pop,
14,
because in all reality, most music fans don't care about whether he snitched or not. So if he releases some more good music, he could definitely have a comeback. Number 4,
at 14
Sheck
listen to some crazy
Wes.
shit, but
Yes,
nobody
Mo Bamba. I think that's a song
Bro,
that
a
we
lot of
probably
niggas just
blocked
did
from
not-
our
just
memory,
never-
but at one point, it was
Just not post
inescapable.
music.
You heard it everywhere, on the radio, at parties,
Probably lost
and it
living
was
off the money and
responsible
shit.
for tons of memes. Despite having such a recognizable hit record, being signed to Cactus Jack and Good Music under the umbrella of Interscope Records, Sheck Wes
They
failed to
ain't
keep the
never
momentum
had
of his
no
career going.
dedication.
And really, it seems like his momentum slowed down because of the lack of musical output more
Know what
than
I'm
anything
saying?
else. He had some controversies here and there, but after dropping his debut album, Mudboy, he went on a multiple-year hiatus from music. Other than his
Why?
appearance on the Jack Boys collaborative album, he hasn't dropped much music since then. I mean, a couple singles here and there, but
like, they
other
don't-
than
niggas
that,
don't even
nothing.
wanna-
When you ghost your fan base like that, they're going to forget you
Yep.
pretty quickly.
They finna go to the
But
next hot
why did
thing
he
in
go
that
on
bitch.
hiatus? And why has he still not dropped
Even
a
though I
new
took a
project?
2-year break,
Is
but
it
the boy
label
back like I
issues?
never left.
Well,
He got
actually, in
busted.
2020, he started pursuing a basketball career and entered the NBA draft.
You ain't
Currently,
J. Cole,
he plays
baby.
for Paris Basketball, a French basketball
Like,
team.
what the
Number
fuck?
3, Lil Pump. Out of any rapper on
Nigga.
this list, Lil Pump
It's okay
arguably
playing
had
basketball,
the
nigga,
biggest
but
peak
damn, Pump
and
music.
was the most famous, and to be honest, still is the most famous. We all saw how
Lil
fast
Pump.
Pump blew up, and anyone could have predicted
Bruh,
what happened
oh,
next.
reaction,
He had probably the most
Lil
stereotypical
Pump on my
rapper
video,
come up
bruh, that shit
and
was
fall
crazy.
off. He got famous from his fun, gimmicky music, let the fame get to his head, signed a 360 deal, started abusing substances too much. Then by the time he realized he was falling off, it was already
Bro,
too
what
late.
did I say about
If you think
360
about the
deals?
last time you heard about Pump, it was probably when you heard about his support of Donald
Dummy.
Trump's presidential campaign and appeared at one of his rallies. You don't hear about his
Dummy.
music. And that's because, for the most part, he stopped dropping new music. It's like once his label
You ain't
realized
black,
his
baby.
career was over, they
Can't do
didn't
that
even
shit.
want him releasing
And you
anything.
almost white
Luckily
bitch.
enough for him, he probably has enough money to be set for life and probably still makes some income from his music. He did start releasing some more music recently, but honestly, I don't
hear
think a
that
Little
shit.
Pump comeback is in the cards for 2022 or the years to follow. Number 2, Designer. Future has had one of the best careers
shit.
in rap music
Panda.
in the past
Panda.
10 years. It
Panda.
seems like he
Panda.
hardly
Panda.
ever
Panda.
misses and isn't going to fall off anytime soon. But whatever happened to Future's clone? You know, the guy we all found out about in 2015 through his song Panda. The guy who ended up signing to Kanye West? It seems like I haven't heard about Designer in forever. To give him some credit though, you can't say he was a one-hit wonder because he followed Panda up with the song Timmy Turner. But how did he go from that to being one of the least
guess what?
discussed
Let Timmy
rappers
Turner
from
kill
his
King Von.
XXL
That's
freshman cover? To start, he hasn't dropped a project of any kind since 2018. And that wasn't even a full-fledged mixtape, just an EP. It seems like what hurt his career the most was his label issues, him calling out both Good Music and Def Jam Records at one point, and stating that Kanye West was crazy. But he was actually released from Def Jam and Good Music back in 2019 and has remained an independent artist since. And for
Man, you
unknown
said stay
reasons,
with Kanye
still hasn't
West.
dropped a new project. Number 1,
And
Ugly
again, it's
God.
crazy, but damn.
Ugly God was both one of the first
Ah,
SoundCloud
shit.
rappers and one of the first
This nigga
meme
went out like,
rappers.
man.
Before there was someone like Lil Nas X who knew how to use their internet and memes to his advantage, there was Ugly
He was
God
going
who
up
even
too,
at
man.
one point ran his own Instagram meme page. Most people found out about him either in 2015 or 2016 with songs like I Beat My Meat, Booty
I
from a
beat my
Distance,
meat,
and of course his
beat my
biggest
meat.
song, Water. The guy was somewhat of a pioneer in the way that he marketed his music, but at some point the buzz around his name faded out. His career started off with him making
This video
songs
gonna
that
be
were
crazy
basically
editing.
memes, but at a certain point he got tired of not showing any vulnerability in his music. That's when he dropped Bumps and Bruises. Bumps and Bruises was his debut album on which he tried to show his fans a different side of his artistry. But the album came out in August of 2019, which
They
was
like the-
well
the-
after
the
his
comedy
fame
shit.
had peaked. The album ended up selling 14,000 copies copies in its first week, which isn't terrible, but it isn't great either. Since then, he hasn't dropped a single track on streaming platforms at all. Ugly God is another case of a rapper who just stopped dropping music, and people just forgot about him as a result. If you compare him to someone like Lil Yachty, yeah, his career might not be where it was in 2016, but he never stopped dropping music, and because of that, he's still pretty relevant. To be fair though, Yachty has a record label behind him. This past December, Ugly God took to Twitter to show off his Spotify Wrapped, and the fact that he had gotten 24 million streams on that platform alone, all while having not dropped any new music in years. That's pretty impressive, especially for an independent rapper. And he also stated that he has new music in the works. I think he has a good chance of having a comeback. What do you guys think? So do you agree that all these rappers pretty much fell off the face of the earth? Did we forget to add anybody on this list? Let me know in the comments, and before you leave, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to our channel.
With some heat, like some heat, motherfucking heat, maybe. But it gotta be motherfucking heat. Hey man, say man. This is the end of the video, you dig. It's gonna be hard as hell editing this motherfucker. It done stopped like 30 times in this bit. Make sure you fuck with your boy, man. Straight hood and outside shit, man. That's why we can't never stop posting, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna never fall off in this bitch if we keep on posting. That's for y'all too, man. All y'all do, gotta keep on posting, man. Maybe y'all numbers do drop in this bit. Never give up, man. You feel me? Unstoppable with God, man. Keep on posting y'all videos, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to this bitch. Up, man. Straight hood and outside shit. We out this bitch. Deuces. Gang.
Hey, Dad, you know, dog, when we link up, dog, this shit be legendary. You know this instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.